Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 143 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about this film is that we do know that Episode 9 is going to answer a lot of the burning questions from The Force Awakens, while also creating new questions at the very beginning of this movie that will ultimately be answered at the very end of Episode 9. And what's really exciting about this is that we do know that J.J. Abrams said over at Celebration that there is a lot more to tell about Rey's family in this story. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, a description of both Luke Skywalker and Rey sitting across from each other inside of the Prime Jedi Temple, where it said that Rey is being given a lesson about the ways of the Force and the ancient Jedi. It said that Luke's Force Ghost is teaching Rey the philosophy of the Prime Jedi. Eventually, it's described that Rey requests for Luke to bring back some of her repressed memories, where Luke is said to place his hand on top of Rey's head, where they both close their eyes. It's explained that Luke is able to provide clarity that Rey had once had a brother who is still somewhere alive in the galaxy, however cannot pinpoint his location. It's described that Luke is able to tell Rey that her brother/sibling was taken away by the remnants of the Empire many years ago, and that Rey witnessed this herself as a young child, but for some reason the memory of that was wiped. It's unclear if this brother of Rey's is related by blood or is more of a step-sibling of some kind. However, it's described that Luke is able to tell Rey that he too is Force-sensitive like herself. The sequence is said to allude to when Rey talks to BB-8 in Episode 7, that she is waiting for her family as opposed to just her parents. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know that Episode 9 is going to really add in a lot of revelations into this film. So in The Last Jedi, it was setting up how Rey was trying to learn more about her parents and exactly who they really are and where they're really from. And that was all answered by Kylo Ren, that they are nobodies and that they sold her off for drinking money. So this is all going to be somewhat undone in of course, The Rise of Skywalker by J.J. Abrams. He's going to go in greater depth into that story about Rey's parents and her family. Now, in this scenario, Luke Skywalker is revealing something about her sibling in, of course, Star Wars Episode 9, which ties directly into what we went over a couple of weeks ago about one of the scenes being filmed involved a flashback scene of a young Rey watching a young boy that was said to be slightly older than herself at the time being taken away on board of a large ship. So what's exciting about this is that this is Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost being able to essentially bring back a repressed memory within Rey's mind, where she is able to remember what she saw as a young kid. Now, what I like about this also is that this does in fact open up the possibility of Rey's brother actually returning in his adult form at the very end of The Rise of Skywalker. Again, like I say, we do know that Daisy Ridley said that The Rise of Skywalker really is all about family in this movie. It's heavily based on family. And we're going to see a great tone of that. We're going to see a great sense of this in Episode 9. And they really seem to be doing a lot of this with the character of Rey. So with that being said, we do know that Episode 9 is actually going to answer a lot of those questions and is really going to really provide a lot of different twists and turns just like this. And though Luke Skywalker is associated now with the Netherworld of the Force as a Force Ghost, he is also able to use the power of the Netherworld in order to help Rey out, being able to deliver information to her, telling her that just like herself, her brother is indeed Force sensitive as well and still alive somewhere in the galaxy, just like her father. So, very interesting, because we're still not quite sure if her brother/father or mother at that are related by blood, or if they are more around the lines of parents that adopted Rey and they happen to have a child that was a boy that ended up being the step-sibling of Rey. It could be something as simple as that, where it's going to be misdirection in this movie, where the parents and the brother that we do see in this film, and the ones that are referenced in this film, are not actually going to be her real family. That's a great possibility. So, with that being said, this is all said to take place within the Prime Jedi Temple, where Luke is teaching her a lesson about the Prime Jedi himself. Now, in The Last Jedi, we only got a little tease of the Prime Jedi, right? through the Prime Jedi mosaic on the ground of the First Jedi Temple. So we're going to be learning more about the Prime Jedi in Episode 9, which is really great because I think that side of Star Wars is a very interesting angle. You know, learning more about the ancient Jedi and where they've been and the power that they possessed many years ago. We're talking about over 1,000 years ago. You know, even Luke Skywalker says, you know, over 1,000 generations ago. That's a very long time. So with that being said, this film really does have a lot to offer and has the ability to mark itself down as the best of this current trilogy. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.